Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
Hey, thanks for the Lady Gaga song. I appreciate it. Kurt, my board guy, thank you.
No problem.
Hey, everybody, welcome to a fun edition today of Deborah Kobylt Live. We've got another great show today for you, like we always do every year. And we played Lady Gaga because I'm going to see her this weekend out in Coachella, and I can't wait. I don't know what to expect. It's hot as hell out there, but I love Gaga, and I can't wait to see her. So thanks for that. I've been off for a couple weeks, been in Guatemala with my family. It was fantastic. I have John Kobylt here from the John and Ken Show. Gee, thanks again for stopping in. I know you got nothing better to do until you do your own show in 45 minutes, so thanks for coming on.
It's under duress. You just tell me, hey, you're coming on today.
Well, because
That's
I love
all right.
to start a little bit about politics. Yeah. I'm interested in politics. And after that, we're going to switch a little bit and talk a little bit about the environment. And I have two really special guests in studio about that. And then after on my show, we're going to be talking to Courtney Carver, and she has something called Project 333. I'll tell you about that later too. But first, I got to get John in and out of here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. So let's talk about Sean Spicer. Can we play?
Well, play it first if you have it.
Everyone's laughing at Sean Spicer. So should we have a press guy who talks about Trump that someone is laughing about? Really? Maybe it's time for this man to go. Let's play his apology, shall we? You got it? Okay.
It's spinning and spinning.
Spinning on some house.
That's
it says, Sean Spicer apologizes for Hitler remarks at the press briefing.
Boy, that's a headline you never want to have. You're apologizing for Hitler remarks.
Where is it, though? Where's my stuff? Why does this happen to me every week?
Sean Spicer is joining us from the North Lawn of the White House. Sean, thanks very much for joining us. I know you want to clarify what you said, but why did you even make that comparison to Hitler on gas attacks? As you know, 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust, many of them with poison gas.
Well, thanks for having me, Wolf. I was obviously trying to make a point about the heinous acts that Assad had made against his own people last week, using chemical weapons and gas. And frankly, I mistakenly used an inappropriate and insensitive reference to the Holocaust, for which, frankly, there is no comparison. And for that, I apologize. It was a mistake to do that.
All right, at least he apologized. Imagine if he defended it.
Director Panetta's comments, and we'll keep those in mind.
So tell us who you're apologizing to right now. There are Holocaust survivors out there who were listening to what you said.
All right, I think we got the idea. We can bring that down.
You know what happens? Spicer is not a good guy because he's very hyper and he babbles. If you've heard other effective spokesmen, they speak slower, they take their time, they game out that if I say this, the press is going to come back with that. He doesn't do that. He's like a idiot talk show host. He just yaks and yaks and yaks. And
where are you getting that from?
I
Idiot talk show host?
I know how it works because you go off into like a free form word association, just stream of consciousness rant, which is what he does, which can be great on a radio or a TV show. But when you're a spokesman, you're not supposed to do that. So you end up getting half a fact garbled with another half a fact. What he was trying to say is Hitler didn't drop gas on people in towns, forgetting that he gassed people in the chambers.
Stupid, idiotic comment. And by the way, even bringing it up was stupid and idiotic. Shows to me, may I finish? Shows to me that the man needs to go. Shows to me that Donald Trump is just not getting it right. Look what's going on with Bannon, right? He's on his way out too. I mean, it seems to me like he rushed to judgment with a lot of his picks, whether Sean Spicer or Bannon, and then, not that he picked Bill O'Reilly, but the man who is practically a spokesperson for the Trump administration. These guys, they all need to just go. Don't you think so?
I don't think Spicer is good at his job.
I don't either.
He
and
gets
what about
into
Bannon?
too many of these things.
And Bannon
I don't know what Bannon does.
I think he's quick to make.
I think the Trump took his advice on two issues. and hit a brick wall on both of those issues. He was the one who pushed out that original travel ban and didn't take any time to look at the nuances, the legality, didn't game out what the blowback would be. If you're going to do that, you have to sit there and think, okay, what are the opponents going to do? And what's my response and what's the counter response? He just barreled in there and said, here's the travel ban, everybody eat it. He did the same thing when he tried to sell the Republicans on the health care plan. He just went in a room and said, okay, you guys are going to vote for it. He literally said this. You guys have to vote for it. You've got no choice. You got to take one for the team. And all these guys are policy wonks. They're saying, wait, we have this issue. We have that issue. Bannon didn't want to talk about it. And it was clear that he and Trump didn't even know what all the details were in the plan.
I understand, but
So Trump lost confidence in him.
But without getting into the nuances of it, don't you think I'm getting sort of a theme here? And then you've got O'Reilly and his blustering all the time. And look at what's going on there. Needless, not that, again, O'Reilly is
It's more than blustering with him.
Exactly. I think it's just a bad time right now. We've got a lot of these guys in charge, whether it's in the media or it's the White House spokesperson or it's the guy who has his ear and his right arm pretty much. We need to scale it back a little bit for all those people who are not big Obama fans. I think maybe a little bit of decorum is in order, right? Because it seems like the entire decorum. It seems like the entire Trump administration and those people around him and supporting him are not. It's creating a lot of uneasiness. Okay, to put it nicely.
Well.
These idiots have to go.
First of all,
to put it not nicely.
There's a lot going on in the Trump administration, and some of it's good, and some of it's rocky. On the list of things I care about, stupid stuff from a press spokesman is at the bottom of the list. To me, that's just comedy. That guy, well, what he is, he's a Saturday Night Live character. It's funny to see him foul things up because.
But not in this case, clearly.
Well, no, it is because the next day, then he's got to give a humble apology tour. And he's a blowhard. He's a guy who just talks too much, talks too quickly, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's a bad
So
set
does
of
he belong there or not? I guess is my point.
He's not the guy I would want being my spokesman. No, but I don't get worked up about it because it's just a spokesman. He's not starting wars.
Well, my dear, he's
not invading cities. He's just one of these paid spokeshacks. By the way, I hate most of them. Most of them stand up there and give you canned, rehearsed, tedious responses, rarely answer the question, just fog your mind with a load of nonsense. In a way, he's highly entertaining because you just don't know what craziness is going to come out of him. I just don't take the job seriously. I find it a ridiculous job.
Well, that's too bad because to be the spokesperson of the President of the United States, I think is a pretty serious job, actually. And I think
I don't.
Really, that's too bad. I think I'm going to let you go on that one because I disagree.
Okay.
I don't know how anyone can really say that if you're a spokesperson to try and explain to the common people, which would be myself, what's going on in the world, and then you find it sort of not an important job.
But they don't.
I don't agree.
I've heard all of Obama's spokesmen and Bush's spokesman, and they never really explain much at all. What they do is they try to fog things up. They try to obfuscate. They try to confuse. They lead reporters on wild goose chases. The reporters at the White House will tell you this. Those daily briefings are the most pointless goose chases. Everyone's running around in a circle. The reporter's trying to corner the guy. He's taking all kinds of evasive verbal tactics like he's a pilot taking incoming fire. And it always leads to nowhere. Until you get a guy like him who just is bad at it.
Yeah, he's pretty bad at it. So anyway, I know you got to do your own show over in Burbank. John Kobylt from the John and Ken Show. Thank you very much for joining us.
All right, I'll see you later.
And I appreciate your being here. And we're going to sort of switch chairs a little bit. Anyway, what did you think about that, Mr. My guest here? Wait, what are we doing here? Come on over. Scott Harris, how are you doing? What did you think
good.
about
How are
that?
you?
I mean, do you guys mind talking about politics a little bit? Because, this is such a, in my opinion, could you put the headphones on, a really, really charged time in our government and in our time. And look at what Trump's doing is not exactly an advocate for the environment, I would say.
You would think, right? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys voted for him and you like him. I don't care who voted for him and I don't care who likes him. But I'm just saying, look what's going on. We've got his press people. We've got people in his administration, and it looks like they're going to start getting filtered out. My opinion is I think they ought to look at Sean Spicer and give him the axe. I thought that was a horrible thing, what he did. And I don't care how he apologizes for it. It was just stupid. And I don't think you should be stupid and have a job like that. What do you think?
I agree, but I'm also saying the serenity prayer because I realize that I can't control the politics. As much as these things drive me insane, I just decided to put my focus elsewhere.
Which is doing something good.
I try to, yeah.
Which is doing something really good. You build sustainable homes. You build, what do we refer to them? I refer to them as green homes. And you said, well, I mean, wouldn't you say? I mean, you're sort of building homes that are a little more environmentally conscious.
I would, and I'd, as far as calling them green homes, I think that somebody asked me, why do you build green homes? And I said, I actually like to look at all the colors in the prism and do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Green was something that came up as a way of awakening people's consciousness.
I also think green was about, the trees and the grass, and it's sort of also just nature.
Did you ever look it up?
What?
I did. One day I had to look it up and find out what green meant.
Nope.
So green means anything that relates to the chlorophyll that's in grass. So you're absolutely right.
Oh.
So it does relate to anything that's natural.
Where's my ding? Come on. Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
Come on, Kurt.
You got it.
Thank you.
But, and here's where it doesn't make sense to me when you have things like LED lights. Yeah, they're better. But how come they get a green symbol? It has nothing to do with nature. It has nothing to do with anything green. And so I think in some ways those symbols got overused in terms, and so it needs to be readjusted and rethought about what we're doing now today.
Which is why our other guest is here. Randall Spence, how are you doing?
Doing excellent.
Little applause for you as well. For both of you. Do you mind if we're going to go back and forth. I kind of want the two of you are a little bit similar based, but you're here because you've developed something that I consider very interesting. You're an entrepreneur, and you actually want to have out there. Why don't you describe better what it is that you do, and even lift it up if you don't mind. Your the icon that you've developed.
Well, actually, it's more discovered.
Yeah.
One day I was watching TV and I noticed that the section of the Earth just happened to have a outline of an antique cameo.
Okay.
And I thought maybe I was just imagining things, and I went immediately to a globe and I looked, and sure enough, there's a outline of a cameo there. So
isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
from there, it
I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
See what you learn here on Deborah Kobylt Live.
And the face was there too?
Well, that's something like we call it the vision. The wind.
I see.
The waves create the face. You put them
Wow.
all together and you have a vision.
I think that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
So
I think that is really neat.
I didn't know
From
that.
there was a question of how can we take such a powerful vision. Obviously, it's an environmental vision right from the beginning. It's Mother Earth. There's no denying it. And how can we put that to good use? And from there, we developed somewhat of a simple concept where we give companies an opportunity to adopt the logo used in place of, not in place of, but in addition to their Facebook, their Twitter, to take any concerned consumer directly to their eco-policy pages.
Right. So in other words, if you're interested in a product and you see that symbol perhaps on that product, you know what, that they've got some safe environmental policies in place that, for example, agree with what you're doing.
Well, we're not quite to the product stage yet.
Right.
What we would need to do is follow the lead of like most of the Fortune 500 companies. Pretty much all of them have an eco-policy in place.
Right.
They're not always easy to find. So therein is the logo comes in, where they can add it to their list of other icons on the social media list, click, and it takes them directly to that page. So anybody that's interested, bingo, you got a quick, easy, simple way of finding their eco-policy from there.
I think that's smart.
That
What
is
do you think
great.
about that? Isn't that great?
I think that's great. So that's exactly what I was saying, is that there isn't a,
This is why you two are sort of on together,
We're
because
good.
you have very similar ways of thinking about this
You knew
stuff.
this, didn't you,
I
before? You did your-
intuitive, remember? We
you
were
are.
talking about this last night.
She did her homework, by the way.
Well, just about everybody has a web page already.
Yeah.
If they don't, we'll provide them a free profile page. From there, it's just a question of adopting our logo and adding it in with their others. And that, in turn, will give both their page's identity as well as help our icon become more universally known as a globally accepted
Look, I think it's
environmental
brilliant.
icon.
If that was on a product that I picked up, I would know automatically that it agreed with what I find important, in the way that the company is handling its whatever it does for the environment. Right?
And what I like about this is that you're saying that you're going to be able to go onto a website and be able to see more about the information of the company, right?
It's up to that company.
If they want to. Because my issue is with green, I mean, excuse me to people who love green, but when you put this little picture of 2 leaves on something, it doesn't tell me anything about it, right?
See, and this guy's taking it 12 steps further.
I like that.
By the way, you know where we met? I was at the Grammy Gifting Suite, and I go through this stuff because because everybody's always trying to peddle their whatever
stuff,
it is,
yeah.
their stuff.
Lipstick,
and he
cream.
in particular really caught my eye, and my friend as well. And we thought,
Did you tell your husband?
this is really. He knows everybody catches my eye. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm usually pissed off at him half the time anyway. In case you can't tell,
I could tell.
Politically, we
Yeah.
differ, and it's starting to really get in between us. But that's a different story. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
I've known him for a long time, so I can put up with
figured
it.
that.
But the point is, what was the point? I just lost my
We were
train
at
of thought.
Grammy.
Yeah, we're at the
Grammy.
Grammy suite. You did catch my eye for more than one reason. He's adorable as well. But I thought this was brilliant. I really thought so. And if this icon, and I read what you stand for, was on a product that I was looking into, including a builder or anyone else, if they had that little icon, I would know that, that it's a company I want to do business with.
Well, it's free to the company. It's free to the world. There's no excuse why people wouldn't want to look at it, any kind of concerned shopper at all. And the best thing at all is any beautiful woman can be an earth mom.
Now, you made me an earth mom. I don't know
Yeah.
if that means I'm beautiful or not,
I
but you
did.
did make me a really beautiful mug. I love that mug. My kids came home and they're like, why are you on that mug?
So this actually isn't the Earth Mom logo itself. This is a personal one that I didn't get permission of anybody to do, so I won't mention any names. But anybody that's very passionate, or if their husbands or families they know that the wife or the mom is passionate about the environment, this is an excellent gift idea. We normally charge $99 additional to do something like this. We've got a special going for $49, but that's a different story.
I forgot to get my wife a gift. Do you have an extra one?
Well, no, you can put her picture
Yeah,
on
I
it. Is
know.
what you can do. So I think that's smart. How are you gonna raise awareness though for this, and how are you getting in front of a lot of the companies to try and actually put this on their, to attach the two of you together?
Well, I brought a backdrop here for you to use for anybody to that wants to be an Earth Mom. If they see it, they go, "What's that?" They can instantly have a photo taken by you or by them, or a selfie, and it'll give you a little bit of advertising too. And we want to do the same thing for like some major people like Starbucks, hopefully, Whole Foods, any.
And have you gotten it out there to these companies? I mean, it sounds like the kind of thing that most of these companies, it's a no-brainer to me. They don't have to do anything except, whatever their policies are. If they agree with you, you agree with them. Yeah, it's a nice match.
Right, and if you notice there's a QR code there, that would take them right directly to your page that we've set up for you on Earth Mom.
Okay. And how many other companies have you, I mean, I know that you're just starting and you're just starting to get this out there.
Yeah.
What's your goal? What are you looking to do?
Well, we'd love to hook up with a Fortune 500 company, anybody that would love to get involved and help proliferate anything having to do with saving the environment.
Can you and I go on Shark Tank?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm going with him.
I had the guy on. He's actually a friend
You
who
did?
is involved with Shark Tank. He's an inventor. He's the coolest guy. He's invented like 300 items.
Which one, Mark
and,
or the?
No. He's involved with it. His name is David Fuhrer, actually, and he's an inventor. So somewhere along the line, he's been somehow involved with Shark Tank as well. It's very interesting. So you guys want to go on Shark Tank now with this
I'm
idea?
going with you.
It's actually
Come on,
smart.
let's do
Did
it.
you ever think of going on there and contacting those guys?
I had sent feelers out to them, and because we're just so very not very far from launching, there's no real significant money there necessarily. Didn't really have a chance to get the cause out there like I could have.
All right, we're going together.
Is
You
the
heard
goal
it.
is the goal to make money with this, and then perhaps use that money toward environmental causes? Like, what's the goal here? You want to get the word out. You're getting it out there on the web.
Well, to be able to provide a free service for the consumers, somehow it has to be sponsored. So whether we can monetize internally by adding special services, which we do have extra levels, but basically we have free everything on the web, free membership for anybody.
We're going to change that.
But you have different membership levels too. I
Right. So
saw
then
that.
there are
Yeah.
paid levels if they want to become involved, get more different types of social media, counseling, support, and higher levels of participation.
What is this here that you brought in? Did you bring this?
This is an invention that I kind of came up with. It is a device for salvaging your plastics. Almost every household has some type of plastic, your dry cleaner bags, your bread bags. So it's an opportunity to put them in here, compact them, and when you're done, you can pull the whole thing out as a log, twist tie it, and then you've got something that you can melt down, turn into construction bricks, or hopefully Brad Pitt's listening, we can help him build homes with this type of a thing. But all this pretty much goes into landfill right now. But you've heard about some...
Well, it's like it's recycling essentially, right? And you're
Pretty
saying
much.
do it yourself with this contraption?
Yeah, it's a home recycling unit for all your plastic.
Oh, that's nice. My
And
kids
you
would have
just sort
fun.
of smash it down? That's what
Yeah,
you do?
smash it down. When you're done, you tie it off and drop it off at nearest Walmart or UPS. Or
Right, so instead of getting a whole big pile of plastic things, you need a drink of water. Instead of getting a bunch of plastic things, essentially, and just throwing it into your trash and letting them take care of it, you're saying get a little
Hopefully.
more proactive and do something about it.
Yeah, and this could be a chunk of energy. There's companies that claim they can melt this down and turn it immediately into energy because it's all basically oil-based. Mm-hmm. So just something that I thought I brought along that it's possible that we can help eliminate this type of stuff going into landfill.
Okay, interesting. Would you be someone that would support this and have this icon on your business?
I would. Let's do it today.
Yeah?
I'm ready.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about you and
All right.
some of the homes you've designed. You have designed and built Ed Begley Jr.'s home. Now, for people who don't know Ed Begley Jr., of course, he's a well-known actor, but he's also an activist for the environment. And I know you and I were talking last night. You said a lot of that started because
Right.
of his affinity for his dad. And he came from very meager means, and his dad actually did things in sort of more of a simple way. And Ed developed that as an adult, and it's kind of a homage in a way to his father, and that's how he became a little bit more of an environmentalist, correct? See, I know Ed. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, I didn't even start. It's okay.
But that's okay. I'll just keep going. It's my show, and that's just the way these things go around here. But I know that Ed, I used to read, would ride his bicycle and therefore generate energy for his toaster. Yeah? Do you know about this?
Yeah, no, I do. And just I wanted to go back. So we are,
Yeah.
as far as the design part, it was done by William Hefner, who is a partner who does
Right.
the architecture.
Right.
So he'd be upset if I didn't say that right now.
No, and yes, and he's actually terrific as well. I know his work.
You do?
I've seen his signs sort of all
They're
over
everywhere,
town.
yeah.
AIA, is that it, or is that?
It's Studio William Hefner. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know who he is as a
Yeah.
builder. So go ahead, go on.
So we did. So we're a partnership, and then so he did the architecture, we did the design, and then, as far as the person that Ed is, it's fascinating to get to know people. I mean, when you build a home, there's nothing more intimate than
Personal.
It's more personal than you think.
I believe it, 'cause
I know
I
them
got-
better
I-
than I know my wife.
No, I got really close with my builder. I'm still.
Yeah.
I
Really?
built 2 homes. You keep asking me that. I got really close with my 2 builders. I did.
Nice.
But not quite like that. We are all still really good friends. The first gentleman who built our home that we had close. Most people hate their builders. They can't stand them. I love them. I was telling you last night, I think really I'm a construction girl at heart. I love it. I love the whole process. And you get to know these people intimately. They know what matters to you. They know the kind of toilet you want in your bathroom, for goodness sakes, right?
Yeah, we not only do they know the toilets, but I have to know the patterns of the. Have you seen those cool toilets where they open up?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking, come on.
The Toto toilets,
Toto.
the
I was gonna say it begins with a
$5,000.
T. I have a Toto, but mine's not $5,000.
I had a client who just came to me and said, "Sweetie, it's just not cleaning right." And I said, I tried to walk away. I don't know. I don't know how to go there. And then she came back again and again and said it. So this is the level I go to when I'm building. I put the plastic saran wrap down, and I said, I'm going to try it out.
You used her toilet to just.
She
test
said it was okay. I had to test it, but I put the saran wrap. These are the levels and how intimate that you get with your clients. And I said, I think I understand.
This is the kind of guy you want to
Yeah.
hire to build your
Yeah.
home. If you're going to test out the toilet.
I didn't pull my pants down though. But I sat on
you
there.
just sort of sat
I needed
there.
to understand
Oh.
the flow and the pressure and everything, and so I got to see what the issue was, and and so you get very intimate with your clients. It's right. I mean,
I'd say.
you don't know those things, but everybody.
You never know about a person. So go ahead. So you are involved though in just building homes that I don't know. We were talking last night. Okay, for example. Going to sound a little boring and dry, no pun intended, but we were talking about drywall. There's types of drywall that
Right.
can be more environmentally sensitive, for example, right?
Well, the problem is that the majority of drywall, ironically, is actually wet and moist for some reason, because most of the builders are not building a home in a way that keeps the moisture out.
I remember I told you last
Yeah.
night we had a leak in our basement with all the rains,
Yeah.
and the drywall got all warpy. And then
Exactly.
we noticed a little bit of black mold, and people freak out about it.
What'd
but
you
just cut it out, and you just what?
Yeah, all right.
All right, you'll have to come over.
I'll talk to you later after the show.
Oh my God!
Okay,
Don't get me
you
nervous.
don't just cut it out. All right.
Well, and then you treat the whole area around it, right? And you leave it open for a while.
Kind of.
Please tell me I did this right. I don't want to end
Yeah.
up with a problem.
All right, we'll talk after.
But if the drywall was not made of those components, it wouldn't have warped in the first place.
Yeah,
right?
so it's the most idiotic thing that I've ever seen as a builder is that we take drywall and I call the paper is bait. So
Right.
what makes mold grow is anything that's cellulose based. And so what you take is you take a plant material, you digest it with chemicals, and you make it really, easy for it to eat. Guess what else likes it? Termites. They love it because it's already pre-digested material. So what you do to make it grow is you put it in a dark space, you add water, and then it turns into basically gremlins, and it just starts to double and multiply. And it's happening in people's homes. And you wonder why I got that weird little cough in the back of my throat. You wonder why I got a sniffle again. And it's because these things are happening in homes. And I can tell you that about 95% of the homes that I go into have that problem nowadays.
I need you to come into my house, and you'll smell my dog is what you'll smell, because I have one of these little dogs who doesn't go when he goes outside, and as soon as he comes in, he goes, if you know what I mean, to the bathroom. So that's what you'll smell in my house. But
I'll smell mold. It's not a smell for me. I'm highly allergic to mold, so I can, when I walk in there, immediately everything starts to close up if it's there. When we did Rochelle and Ed's house for them, one of the things that really made me feel good was, she said, when we were doing one of our shows, she said, the house just feels different. She said, I can breathe. I can take a fresh breath of air. How many of you get to be inside your house and actually take a breath of fresh air? It's a very rare thing. We don't expect it. It should be a normal thing. It should be a natural thing.
But if you can put the pictures up for a second, I mean, it also feels light and airy. Something about the product, about what you built, it just feels light.
It feels, yeah.
It does, doesn't it? It has
does.
a feel to it.
Yeah, we
It
believe
really-
in simplicity.
Yeah, it's simple. I mean, hopefully people aren't going to populate it with all their stuff. That's a whole nother issue. But just the way you built this. So again, your philosophy is keep it clean, keep it light, try and be environmentally sensitive. That's how you do it, right?
It also goes back to, and yes, it goes back to conservatism. And, it's not about doing more. It's sometimes about doing less. Because what happens is, you don't need 732 LED fixtures and say, hey, I'm the green guy. Guess what I did? And people do all of this stuff because it's got that green symbol. Thankfully, they're soon going to have your symbol on things.
Let's hope.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's
that's really
about
important.
doing less. It's about not using all these products. And, if you think about it, I'm sure, like when you go home, not to be personal, but do you probably put on some sweats or a T-shirt or something comfortable?
Exactly right.
Do you ever go home and
See,
dress? I know you.
I know.
Yeah.
You do know me. Last
do.
night we were talking, he was telling
Yeah.
me he's very intuitive, and I said, I want you to give it to me on the air and tell me what you're feeling. So I'm not going to let you go until you do that. You
All
need
right.
to know
Okay.
that.
All right.
Yeah, it
But
better be good.
All right.
But,
it's all going to be good. But do you ever go home and put on that beautiful black gown
No.
that you wear at the Emmys or the Oscars?
Hell no.
No, you don't. And so a house should be the same way.
A house should feel like your sweats and your T-shirt.
And
right?
it should be a place that you want to live in and a place that you feel comfortable, because you can't wait to get that gown off when you get home. It's just the most, or the jacket that I wear or the tie, and you want to feel comfortable. And so the homes that we build, not only environmentally conscious, but mentally, it has to be a haven and a place that you heal.
I believe in a couple of things. Just less. Now,
Yeah.
at the moment, I don't have less because my parents died recently, and now it's been over a year, and I have all their stuff in my office in the house. And I need to sort of unload it. In fact, my next guest, and if she
Garage
doesn't mind
sale.
waiting a little bit, garage sale. Because at the end of the day, people are just going to come in my house one day and sell my shit, to be honest. Not that it's shit, but you get my point.
Don't hoard.
Don't hoard. Keep it
Get it
simple.
out.
But you mentioned LED lighting, so let me go there for
All
a
right.
minute. First of all, I can't stand the look of it. I always look purple. I don't like it. We're supposed to like it, but I don't like it. What do you do? How do you get around that when you can't stand the look of the lighting that's supposed to be environmentally safe or sensitive?
Well, you can use candles if you like that.
No, but you know what I mean.
But here's something also to know about LED. So it's about doing less. You can naturally light rooms. I like to do shades if possible. Whenever
Got
possible,
those.
you got shades. You do like floor lamps. You can do less lighting. It's not natural to be able to live in a place where you
where
feel
it
like
feels
you
like
can
an
do surgery.
airport.
Yeah, I feel like I can do
Exactly.
surgery. I need more lights. Give me 16 more lights over here, and I want more power.
Okay. Again, you
right?
come in my home, I'm always dimming everything. And I have
That's-
one kid who's like, I can't see anything. And I'm like, too bad. Because it's just too bright.
It's natural. I mean, iPhone just figured it out where I think they have this new app that, at nighttime they actually reduce the brightness. Have you seen that on your phone?
Yeah.
You get night shift mode. They finally figured out it's better to let your eyes rest at night. You don't need all that
I always
light.
do it anyway. I
Yeah.
dim my iPhone because
You don't
it's too
need it.
bright. Okay, so lighting. What about like solar panels and air conditioning? What about all that? Like, are there special kinds of air conditioning or ways to keep them on? There's got to be ways to just be more environmentally conscious with all this stuff. And then you do that, and you get your little symbol on it, and we've got a package deal.
All right, so here's the coolest thing, because
Yeah.
I'm like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Rube Goldberg and just create these things. I didn't really know about green. I didn't know about this stuff. I just wanted to be an inventor and a builder. And so when we did Ed's house, actually when we did Kevin James' house a long time ago, King of Queens.
Yeah, you did Costner's house. You did all kinds of homes.
Yeah. And so when we did his house, he came home one day, and during construction, he wasn't supposed to be there, and he turns on the air conditioner, and just gallons of water were coming out. We didn't know what happened. We get a call from
I've
his
had this
wife.
too.
You've had this.
I've had all of it. I have water issues. I think, oh my God, I need to have
I know
you
that.
over.
I know you do.
No.
Yeah.
Last night when I was coughing, it's because I was eating.
That's what you think,
No,
right?
oh my
Yeah.
God. I was
All right, we're
coughing
gonna-
last night, and he said, I think you have mold issues in your house. I said, I do not.
Mold
I don't
USA
even know
is
you.
coming.
Oh my God. Don't say
They're
these
gonna
things.
show
It
you the
scares
tr-
me. Look, you're looking at us like, oh my God.
Naivete is bliss.
Oh, don't tell me this. All right, so go ahead, because we have our next guest who's going to, we're going to talk to her on the phone, and we
Okay.
can all sort of chime in.
Great. But so what we did over there at Ed's house is the solar panels are up there. They're producing 8 gigawatts for him. So he's basically
What
his
is
house
8 gigawatts? What does that equal
It's
to?
enough for him, and it's enough for Rochelle to run all of the stuff that she wants in the house, and he can go downstairs and watch the thing spin backwards on the dial. We go down there, and he just loves. He's like, "Come on, we got to check it out. It's going backwards."
I got to go there.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
really
want to
cool.
go next time you go.
Okay.
Just call me, say, Deborah. Bring John. Come on, we got to go to Ed
We
Begley's
will.
house. Yeah,
Let's
I really
do it.
want to go.
It's great. We should go.
Because we've been to the old house. We haven't been to the new house.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Tomorrowland at Disneyland?
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of like it, but it's the real Tomorrowland.
Right.
So
the
when
real
you go there,
Tomorrowland,
it's like
wait a
this
minute.
is really the way that Tomorrowland is supposed to be.
So
When
you
go-
build for Tomorrowland for the people.
Correct. And so, while it looks like a traditional house on the outside, there's nothing traditional about it. It's just a cloak. But back to the air conditioning. So we have enough electricity that's generated from the sun. So when you think about it, the hottest day in the year is the day that you want to run the air conditioners the most, right?
Yeah, and mine will
And
break
so-
down, but, go ahead.
That's because I didn't put them in. But then when you when you have enough solar energy happening, it's basically heating up and powering all of the air conditioning units. Usually the hottest day of the year is also the most humid, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's the day where you have the most humidity. You're trying to get the moisture out of the air. What do these machines do? There's pumps in there that take the water, and they're putting them down the drains into the sewer system. So what we did...
That's where I had my problem.
Yeah.
And there was some kind of a clog.
So here's what we did.
Because everything was going into the same drain,
Exactly.
including the lint from the...
Yep.
Yeah, everything.
Exactly. Then it overflows, and it comes out of your window, and what
That's
the hell? And I'm going
right.
to call my builder. you know.
That's right.
And so what we did is we took the condensate line and we put them into sinks, floor sinks that actually go through gravity feed and go into a 10,000 gallon rainwater tank. And that captures water. So even while we're capturing water during the winter
So
months.
you have a rainwater tank on property there?
Yeah, I don't know if you have the picture here, but it's just, you can see, there it is.
Wow, he's got that on property?
Yeah,
I
so
thought
we-
it was some
you
kind of
see-
balloon that you sort of
I'm actually
brought in
not
there.
that small, but it's a fiberglass tank. That's just the very tip of it that you could have.
That is brilliant. And then what do you do? How do you drain that thing?
Yeah, you drain it into the farm that we have there. He's got into his irrigation system. And so that's all run through solar power. So during the dry months of the year, what's happening is you're running your air conditioner off of the solar power. You're catching the humidity that's in the air. You're collecting it. You're moving it through gravity into the tank. Then the tank is now putting the water to feed his vegetables, his corn, his lettuce, the irrigation on the front. And so it's just the most symbiotic, natural way to live. I mean,
Simple.
Yeah.
Now, for people who don't have the space for that enormous tank, and for people who don't have a farm on property, what do you do for them?
We put that thing underground. So if
You
anyone's
do?
got a
Okay.
backyard, that thing doesn't sit up like that. It's underground. You'd never see it. That was the last time it was ever seen. Geraldo will see it next time. But what you can do is if you wanted to do it in a simple way, if like you're just a regular person like you or me, here's what you do. You can get a trash can, right? You get
Yeah.
a trash can, and you can get your downspouts, and you can other things, and you can just connect them in there. You then take a little hose spigot. You can put it at the bottom, and you can do a soaker hose that goes out to your garden. So you can come by every so often, turn it on, and you can sit there and feed.
I need you to come over and do this for me because I'm interested in it. I love it. I'm really, really into this
All
stuff.
right.
I really am. This should be a movement.
We're fixing the mold first.
Yeah, oh, don't tell me that. I do not have mold in
We're
my
going to get the
house.
water out, and we're going to put it outside.
Okay, I don't think I have
You
mold
may
in my
not.
house. Oh my gosh. So okay, we have someone on the. Are you there, Courtney?
I am. Hi.
Okay. Thank you for listening in on our conversation. Courtney Carver, she has started something very, very interesting that my producer happened upon. It's called Project 333, and it's all about our whole sort of, going lean show. And I love Project 333 because essentially you're saying make it simple, make life less complicated and start with the stuff in your life. 333 would be, what is that? For 3 months, right? You wear only 33 items and the rest of it sort of... First of all, I could do that very easily. I always wear the same stuff, same color, same everything.
I have 2 items I wear.
I know. So for me, it'd be very simple. So is that sort of the premise? Just live your life a little simpler and you'll be happier, right?
It is. I mean, Project 333 is a minimalist fashion challenge that invites you to dress with 33 items or less, like you said, for 3 months, including clothes, shoes, jewelry, and accessories.
Oh, including the shoes. Look, I wear 2 pairs of shoes, flip-flops and sneakers. Easy. So jewelry, same stuff. I am like the most easy person. Of course, my husband will say, what? But I really am. I'm pretty minimal. But I have a challenge for you.
That's fantastic.
I have a challenge for you, Courtney. I want you to go on the Kardashians and see if you could pull that off with people like that. Because that's where we need to go, is people like that who are just sort of pushing new fashion, new everything, every second of their lives. And it's disgusting in a way to watch how these people live and how young girls are trying to emulate them. I love what Courtney's doing because it's real, it's true, it's simple, and we don't need all the crap. Right?
Well, I think people are discovering that for sure. Definitely people that have tried this challenge and are really beginning to understand what enough means to them and that they don't need one more thing to be happy. It's pretty remarkable.
That's
how
well said.
Just being curious about what we want and need in our lives really stops that inflow of stuff.
What motivated you to do this? Did you have too much in your life? Were you sick of watching all the environmental stuff going on, all the entertainment stuff going on out there? Or?
It wasn't that, actually. It was a personal health challenge. In 2006, I was diagnosed with MS and just kind of came to the realization that all of the stress and debt and clutter and everything that I had created in my life was making me sick. And while I didn't think that caused the MS, I really think it contributed to exacerbations and other, general feelings of not being well, headaches, having a cold, being exhausted, feeling overwhelmed. And I just decided enough was enough and started eliminating everything from clutter to debt to busyness to
people that
yes
are just draining on you.
No.
Exactly. Courtney, let me ask, where are you from?
I live in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay, because I was on the way here in the car talking to a friend of mine saying, oh my God, it's too stressful out here in LA. And I'm thinking, trust me, it's everywhere. People are feeling stress.
It's everywhere.
And it's how you impose it on yourself. And I'll tell you how that conversation happened. We're talking about Coachella, for example, this weekend, and some parents are worried about their kids. And I said, just let it go. Let kids enjoy themselves. I mean, they're all pretty good kids. Everybody needs to scale it back, relax just a little bit, and the peace will come in, because no matter where you live, whether it's Utah or LA, New York, or in the middle, it's the people and not where you live, don't you think?
But it's also your state of mind too. And I think one of the most beautiful things I just heard you say is about things don't make you happy. And I think, I'll be happy when I've so many people in my life, and I thank you for understanding this. They always say, I'll be happy when. And I think so many people don't say, I'm happy now. And that's where I think we falter. And I love what you're doing and your approach.
But it all goes. It all goes. Your project, what you're doing. I love what you're doing. I think what you're doing is brilliant. And I want everyone. Courtney, do you know Randall Spence? Did you hear earlier in my show about Randall Spence and what he's doing? He's developed.
I just caught the tail end.
Yeah, he's developed an icon, if you will, and to
cameo.
Yeah, to appear on people's businesses. So if it's there, you'll know that the kind of environmental policy, perhaps, that the company has. Let's say you're using Mr. Clean. I don't know, right? That product, and the little icon is there. You'll know that they practice environmentally clean procedures that agree with what your website agrees with environmentally, right?
Well, it's much simpler than that. The icon really is an indication that the company has taken on a certain amount of responsibility themselves, and they've gone to the trouble of posting it on the web.
Right.
And for the most part, most Fortune 500 companies have that on there. They don't necessarily have the icon, but they have the policy.
Right.
But for every Fortune 500 company that has a policy online, there's hundreds or even thousands of individual companies that have nothing.
But this is very simple. This is very simple for people to sign up with you and for you to partner with them. It's free. But even like what Courtney is talking about, simple, just something that sort of gives back with the environment, with you and your building. Yeah. It just all goes. So with the people, Courtney, who have done this, and they have participated in, 33 garments or whatever, for 3 months. How do they feel after 3 months? Do they keep it up?
Many do. And surprisingly, tens of thousands of people from around the world have tried this. And it's not just a problem here in America or North America. It's worldwide. And what they find out is that simplicity is contagious. So when they see how much easier their mornings become and how much money they're saving and how much more at peace they are in their closets, it really seeps into other areas of their life and their work and their brain and their heart. It's pretty remarkable.
If you almost go back in history, if you will, how this all started, I think at the turn of the century in the 1900s, people were poor, and then there was the Depression, and then a lot of parents and grandparents were saying, you got to make something of yourself. You got to get an education. You got to do this. You got to do that. I grew up in an Italian family in New Jersey and in Florida, and it was always like, education, go do something, and not about
with your life.
how are you doing? Are you happy? When I think back to my grandparents, and they would grow all the vegetables out in the garden. Why aren't we growing our vegetables in the garden? I actually try and do that. Now I love the fact that we're going back to the local grocer and back to, it seems like we're all going back to a simpler time, not a simpler time that was so simple that people were struggling, but a simple time that makes sense so we don't have to stress.
You said the word poor, and you said that we felt like we were poor, but do you feel like or agree that maybe that was one of the richest times of our civilizations? Because
I never really felt poor. I felt I was from a working class family, but I think their parents really felt poor.
But they felt
really
poor
had to wait in line for food
because we put value on materialistic items.
Yeah, but for them, if they were waiting in line for your food, I think that just doesn't feel good. And
doesn't feel right.
They're thinking, my kids aren't going to do that.
No.
And I think that's where that all came from. More.
Right.
And then all of a sudden we're in this generation where everybody has too much of more.
Too much, yeah.
Right? And then now we're just trying to scale back. You got people like Courtney saying, wait a minute, let's try this challenge. And it works. You just scale it back.
I have a question about this. Does that include underwear garments?
Oh.
So there are a few things that don't count. Underwear doesn't count.
Because I'd be wearing mine.
Sleepwear doesn't count. Workout gear doesn't count, but you have to work out in your workout clothes. So if your yoga pants, for instance, spend more time at the grocery store than in the yoga studio, then you would count them towards your 33.
Okay, because I'm going to try this.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm going to try it too. But does it include sneakers and stuff? And
yeah,
like
that's what I'm
socks?
trying to think it through right now.
Because you're right. I'm always in the same little black dress. I've got like 4 of them, maybe a blazer or 2, a couple pairs of shorts, and my yoga pants because I run. I don't run. I walk. I'm a marathoner.
You walk
by the
fast,
way.
right?
I'm a marathoner. So so that's it. That's included in there, like all that, right?
Well, so you wouldn't count your workout clothes. So if you're using something to go walking or go running or go to do yoga, don't count that in your 33 unless you want to include that as an additional challenge, because it sounds like you've already got the basics in your closet and that's all you gravitate towards, and you don't have any type of shopping issues like I did, for instance.
What were you
where
doing?
I really needed to. Pardon?
What were you doing? You said you had shopping issues. What were you, like a closet shopper and you were buying anything you could? What were you doing?
Honestly, I was shopping to relieve pain, I think. And I didn't recognize it then, but looking back, I can see that I shopped to relieve the pain of boredom, of disappointment, of working a job that I didn't care for. It was like this little relief of going to the mall or going to a store and picking up something new. And it built up.
Everybody's got something. Right? Don't you think?
So. I think
Everybody's got something.
We have a lot of pacifiers.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, that's well put too. We have a lot of pacifiers. We really do. I have 3 things that I do to try and get me past feeling all that stuff. I go for a walk, obviously. I drink water. I try and drink water, and I always say this to my kids, and eat a banana because it makes you full, and they're always like, get out of the room. That's like so dumb.
That's really easy.
But that's like really easy. Like I try and I'm trying to be minimal, but I'm not going to lie to you. That's really hard for me, Courtney, because I am very sentimental. And when I see a little thing that I pulled out of my mom's house who's no longer with us, I'm like, oh my God, I got to keep it because like it'll remind me of when I was like 8 years old and, we went to a park. Seriously. So how do I let that go?
The sentimental stuff is probably the most challenging, and so I don't recommend starting there. For people who have a lot of other things to declutter or let go of, really build your decluttering muscles, so to speak, with the easy stuff, the duplicates. Like if you have double sets of measuring cups and measuring spoons, or picture frames with no pictures in them, or candle holders that you only dust and never use. Really start creating space for yourself. And then when you get to the sentimental items, remember that less doesn't mean nothing. So of course, hold on to the things that are really adding value and happiness to your life. Display them, honor those things that remind you of your parents. And don't shove them in a box and put them in the garage or the attic where nobody gets to enjoy them. And then if it is time to let go, it can always help to take a picture of it, write a story about it, keep something for yourself to hold in your heart, but you don't really need that item to remember the person or that moment.
You don't. And I'm actually starting to box things up little by little. I'm thinking, all right, Deborah, you can go and look at it again in 3 or 4 months. And if I miss looking at it, I'll put it out. And if not, I'll keep it in the box until I'm ready to have that garage sale and not really get rid of it, but let somebody else enjoy it. I'll put it that way.
And I feel like, I'm a person who loves to hold things too.
Yeah.
And it's not the object that I like to hold, but it's not even so much the memory, but there's an energy to it. I can pick it up. I can feel it. I sense it. I remember it.
I smell her.
It's like,
I swear to God, not that she's like,
I
know what I mean?
I don't care about the candle holder. I don't care about the picture frame, but there's something when I pick it up that I remember something. And it's like, that's what's hard. So I have a question. You said, you're letting these things go and you, were buying or collecting things because it was a way of, putting the pain aside, or as a way of kind of satisfying that. What do you do, or what do you suggest for people that have that and you're not doing anymore? What do you fill it with when you're feeling that? Or when you get rid of it, do we finally feel like relief? Because I would like to feel that way.
I definitely felt relief almost immediately as I started to let things go, but I traded that shopping habit for taking care of myself, because after a while, and it wasn't immediate by any means, it took me quite a while, but I realized that when I was feeling worn out or disappointed or overwhelmed or whatever it wasn't my body saying, hey, let's go shopping. It was my body saying, take care of me, please.
Right.
I've got boxes full of stuff that I've been saving so when I lose weight, and it'll fit me.
Yeah, I've been there too, by the way.
I think I can safely let those go now.
Or not, or whatever you're wearing that you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be like, because I've been there. I've been up and I've been down weight-wise, especially after kids. And I thought, I finally got the big ones and I just tossed them. And I swear to God, I kept like 1 or 2 that fit. And, but yeah, so get rid of the bigger ones instead.
I'm thinking.
Unless you're just saying, the heck with it. I am where I am and I'm happy with it. And that's just the way it is.
Pretty cool.
But,
so we're going to do a purging now here.
We're on a purging thing. But before we go, because I have a question, we're ending with you in a minute. But I do want you to just highlight for us, once and for all, Earth Mom, how people can find you, get in touch with you, and participate.
Well, earthmom.org is the best place to start. You can look around the web or look around the site and kind of see what we do. There's lots and lots of information there. There's education there. There's checklists that we've begun to develop. So we're hoping that any Earth Mom member starts with their own household, and they can actually go through all of our checklists, and there's tons and tons of
recommendations. But what are some of them? Remember I said to you, you gotta give it to me. Like I'm your regular person, there's information. What information? Like what am I going to get when I go to earthmom.com?
Well, on earthmom.org.
Sorry. Don't go to .com, it's .org.
Right. We've got lots and lots of information on every aspect of your life. From vacationing to your next community where you want to live, things to check out before you actually jump right in. If you're going to move, what's the buses like? What's the transit like?
Okay, this is great information. This is very just basic, great stuff. Keep going. I love it.
Okay, so from there it goes into your community, your parks, your recreation.
Your builder.
Could be, yeah. So, and we're happy to take recommendations from people. What we have is a beginning. We're hoping to create a membership that participates, and we actually encourage them to include their own ideas that we can add to and share with everybody.
I love this. I think it's really, really smart. And again, earthmom.org.
Right.
Any companies you can tell us that have reached out to you and that we would know? Any names we would know?
Nobody national.
But you've been in
yet.
touch with them.
We've been in touch
out
with
there.
a lot of companies, yeah. And so far, it's kind of hit and miss. But one thing I'd like to finish with is we as consumers enable pollution, whether we like to admit it or not.
No matter what we do.
True.
Right. So we have that choice of saying, okay, I don't want my money going to polluters anymore. So if they don't bother to at least put an environmental statement up online for me to read, I don't want to buy their products. So, and we've
Simple enough.
If you go to Earth Mom Eco Policy on our website, and you can see all the different links that we've posted for the companies we do business with. We've taken a step further by actually adding their links, their live links that takes you right to their eco page. So that's right on our website already.
That's really great. So essentially, we would be leaving your page and then going to theirs, so we could read about what they're doing.
Yeah, you could see everybody I buy from all in one page. So I mean, I don't necessarily recommend that for everybody, but it's just an example of how to do business in the new millennium.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. I really am, and I think it's terrific. And I'm grateful that you came. You flew in from Vegas.
Yeah, boy, my arm's tired.
Wait, why? I really appreciate you flying in for this. I mean, it means a lot to you, and you're getting the word out, and I think it's great. I think it's great that you're at the Grammy Suite, and I hope you got a lot of attention over there.
Yeah, we are actually doing a lot of faces on here. In fact, you mentioned Lady Gaga. We have her ready. If you want to drop her off, we'd be happy to give you.
Hey, I'm going to be in the artist suite this weekend. You never know. And you got Callista Flockhart over there. I saw.
I do. Yeah.
She's lovely, and we should try and figure out a way to get that over to her.
Yeah.
I'll try and make that happen if I can.
I'll get you a list of people we have ready to go, and
really?
You can do something.
I actually think it's great. And I think they're great gifts, right? They're terrific gifts. You were saying that you were looking for something for your wife.
We're just taking a shot in the dark and hoping that we can send them to their publicists or to their managers, and that they'll make it in and that they'll appreciate the overall.
Randall, I have a saying: if shot in the dark is great, because if you take no shot, you're not ever going to go anywhere, and you just keep going, and this is going to go somewhere. Now with you, I'm not ending until last night. You were telling me you're a very intuitive person.
Uh-oh.
And I said, you better give me something. Like, so what are you getting?
What do you need?
From?
What do you want?
Well, I don't need anything. I want to know, like, what are you getting intuitively? What are you getting from here, the room, from me? There's got to be something.
Well, I can tell you on the way down here, I got most of the stuff that's actually kind of came out today, but it was about this connection with you and your mother, that you needed to let something go, and all I could see was these, like...
Me and Mom, me and Edith? You were thinking about me and her?
Well, it's what I was picking up, but it was just this connection and the strength and you had with her, and I was seeing these... for whatever reason, all these old plates, these like kind of decorative stacked plates, and I could see the color green, and I saw something to do with, I kept thinking kidney for some reason, and I don't know why, and I think maybe it might be yours on the
what?
You have something.
I have a kid. What about my kidney?
On
looking
you.
At my belly. It's
I'm
like,
not looking at your belly. I'm looking at you.
What about my kidney?
I'm just very sensitive to people's energy, so I just feel something. I felt something that's, no, behind your back. On the side.
Something.
There's something. And so.
Do you want to know how weird this is? I am never sick. I am the healthiest human being ever. But I am having a bit of an issue. And after I take my kid to the doctor who may have broken his hand, I actually have to go to the doctor about something that may in fact be related to the kidney area. So if that's really true,
something right
then
over here.
That's weird. Okay,
it's
am I
not
going to at
weird.
least live?
No, you're going to live, but it's something that, and it's something that happened with your mom, and I think it's something that's associated with your mom, and it's some connection as far as something genetic, and there's something on your elbow isn't great on that side.
Oh, wow! You can really tell everything. So something with my elbow, something with my kidney.
I don't know if it's kidney, but it's something right back, and yeah. It's something over there.
That's it? That's all you picked up from me?
You want me to keep going?
Yeah. We have like a minute. So
all right. What do you want to know?
I don't know. I love talking about me. So you just figure it out.
But you're not fully open. So I can read people as well as they're open. And so I think here's what I can tell about you from just a very quick read, though, as far as your energy goes. You're one of those people that have this amazing, fascinating energy that's like this liquid a breath of air, and you're able to like completely envelop something, and then you're just as quickly gone. Your energy is some of the strongest energy that I've felt in a while.
Is that good energy or not good energy?
It's a good, powerful energy. It's an all-encompassing energy. So when you take something and there's something you like, you completely envelop it, and you absorb it, and you become it.
And then I disappear?
And then you're just as quickly, you're also able to turn it off and be gone, just like like the wind.
Oh, I'm not sure that's such a good thing.
I'm going to ask John if he thinks that's true.
No, I'm a pretty
It's
stable.
not a bad thing. No, it doesn't mean you're unstable. It just means that you have the ability to mobilize and capture something in a very quick amount of time.
Okay, I guess
Those
I'll
people
take
are afraid
that.
to know what they're really
Yeah, I think a lot of
thinking.
people like that are shy people.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like they just sort of walk in and they kind of talk, and then they're really actually internally kind of shy people, and then they move on. But I'm impressed that you're a very intuitive guy, and I actually believe that, because especially if you're building for people, you have to know every little thing, just like you said, everything from the toilets and why they need them, and but that's just
you're building the most sensitive thing for anybody, the most intimate home. So
yeah, but very interesting. And I know you didn't go too deep there.
I didn't. I just went to but see, I only went to the part where you go to the doctor. I got that right.
Okay,
right?
but that's weird. I
It's
never
not
go to the
weird.
doctor. Like never do I need to go to the doctor.
Well,
this is the
see,
one day I gotta go.
I know.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank
All
you for
right.
being on, and I'll let you know how it goes, I guess.
You're gonna be
and
fine.
Thank you for being on too, Randall. I really appreciate it. Any parting words from you? I mean, we'll go to the website. People get involved. Your hope, let's say a year from now, 2 years from now, where do you want to take this?
No, I'd love to see Earth Mom enlisted right alongside all the other major icons, and everybody, when they're out shopping, will be able to click something on their smartphones, either scan a QR code or a product code, read all about the product. We're actually putting we're hoping to bring a new dimension to the website where companies can upload the different environmental factors about their product themselves. So it would be free for them to do it, no cost. They could upload it, 10, 20, 30 of them, and after that they could pay so much per product. But it would be an opportunity to get a huge amount of products up and going online, where right now you can't do anything except look at calories or sodium content.
Yeah, no, I get it. I think it's great. And what's your next project?
And my next project is we have about 15 projects running, so they
And
don't
do you
generally
do
stop.
primarily in the LA area, or you go everywhere?
Most of our projects are located in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
We do investigative reporting, though, for other projects that are out of state for people,
Mm-hmm.
or we do analysis of buildings for people. But most of the projects and our clients are kind of more clustered into, thankfully, a very close area around our office, which I don't mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we go anywhere.
And you're going to take me to Ed Begley Jr.'s house, his new house that you built. I really do want to see it. I'm fascinated by it.
I'm taking you
and
there.
I want to see the kind of work you do. I actually want to go to one of your homes. So
You got to see.
let's try and make that
okay,
happen.
we're going to make it happen.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really glad you
Cool.
came on.
Me too.
Everybody,
Thanks
for being on, and thanks for putting up with the earlier political discussion. I love talking about politics. I'm very interested in this day and age. So thanks everybody for tuning in to a fun edition of Deborah Kobylt Live, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.